Jaren was not like the other soldiers. He was Earth's first prototype, built to be stronger, faster, and smarter than anyone else, but something about him always felt off. The scientists who created him had high hopes, but the other soldiers laughed at him, called him broken machine, and whispered that he would never survive a real mission. Every morning, Jaren trained in the testing halls, his metal limbs clanking loudly as he tried to keep up with the humans. He fell more times than he could count, and every mistake was met with laughter. Even the trainers shook their heads, some with pity, some with annoyance. But Jaren did not feel anger or sadness. Not really. He felt determination, a strange spark inside that told him he could prove them all wrong. One evening, as the sun set behind Earth's orbiting stations, the alarm sounded. A bright red signal flashed across the control panels, signaling a distress call from a distant planet. Unknown life form in danger. The computer repeated, cold and mechanical. All the senior soldiers shook their heads, saying it was too dangerous, that no one should go. Only Jaren stepped forward, his voice steady. "I will go," he said, surprising everyone in the room. The scientists exchanged worried glances. "Are you sure, Jaren? You are not ready for this," one said, but Jaren only nodded. He had never been ready for anything in their eyes. Yet this mission, this could be his chance, the chance to show that he was more than a failed experiment. The journey was long and harsh. The spaceship rattled as it left Earth's atmosphere, moving faster than any human pilot could handle. Jaren felt the vibration in his circuits and his synthetic muscles. He adjusted to the motion carefully, remembering every lesson the scientists had taught him. Though he was mocked, his training had prepared him for this moment. As Jaren approached the alien planet, the distress signal grew stronger. The world below was unlike anything he had seen. Jagged mountains stretched across glowing valleys, rivers of strange liquid ran like veins, and thick clouds of purple smoke swirled above the cities. It looked dangerous, impossible even, yet Jaren's sensors confirmed life, and that life needed him. Landing was difficult. The spaceship shook violently as it hit the surface. Rocks cracked under the impact, and alarms screamed through the cabin. Jaren quickly stabilized the ship. Stepping out into the alien world, every soldier would have hesitated. But Jaren moved forward, his optics scanning the area. The ground trembled as something massive moved in the distance. Then he saw her, the alien queen, trapped under a broken spire of metal, her glowing crown dim and flickering. She looked both powerful and terrified, a ruler in chains. Jaren's mind processed the situation quickly, calculating angles, weight, and how to lift the debris without causing more damage. He had never faced an enemy like this, yet something told him that he could save her. The other soldiers back on Earth watched on their monitors, shaking their heads in disbelief. They had mocked him for years, said he was useless. But now Jaren was the only one who could save a life that no human could reach. The first step was always the hardest, and Jaren took it, moving toward the trapped alien with cautious determination. Each step carried the weight of years of ridicule, yet also the hope of proving himself. Somewhere deep inside, Jaren felt a flicker of something he had never felt before, a small warmth in his chest. Maybe this was what being alive really meant, to fight, to protect, and to be more than what others expected. The prototype soldier had finally found his mission, and nothing could stop him now. Jaren moved carefully across the jagged alien terrain, every step measured, every rock and crevice seemed alive, shifting as if the planet itself was testing him. His sensors detected movement everywhere, but he did not hesitate. He had a mission, and the queen needed him. The alien queen, Lysera, struggled beneath the fallen spire. Her glowing crown flickered weakly, and her silver armor was cracked. She was beautiful but fierce, and even trapped, she radiated power. Lysera's eyes opened slowly, studying Jaren with suspicion and fear. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice melodic yet commanding. Jaren paused, knowing words could not hurt, but might help. "I am Jaren, a soldier from Earth. I am here to help you," he said calmly. His voice was strange to her, human but not weak. She narrowed her eyes, doubting him. Aliens had faced humans before, and they were often dangerous, unpredictable. Lysera tried to push the spire herself, but it was too heavy. Sparks flew from her armor as she struggled. Jaren quickly analyzed the structure, calculating leverage points and angles. "Stand back," he said, moving closer. "I can lift it without hurting you." Slowly, he activated his strength circuits, his metal arms glowing softly, and lifted the spire with careful precision. The queen's eyes widened in surprise. She had not expected help from a human, let alone one so. Careful, Jaren adjusted the spire, lowering it gently to the ground, and freed her. Lysera rose to her full height, brushing off debris. "You are stronger than you look," she said, a hint of respect in her tone. Jaren scanned the city ruins around them. "Your city is not safe, Queen Lysera. We must move quickly. Enemies are approaching," he warned. her eyes followed his gaze, seeing broken buildings, fires, and shadowy figures moving through the smoke. "They came too soon," she whispered. "My army is too weak to fight them now." Without hesitation, Jaren took the lead, signaling Lysera to follow. "Trust me, I will get you out alive," he said, though she wanted to refuse. Something about him, his determination, made her nod. They moved through the streets carefully, stepping over rubble and broken machinery. The city seemed alive, watching, waiting, testing their courage. Suddenly, a group of alien guards appeared, weapons glowing. Their eyes were cold, and they did not hesitate to attack. Jaren stepped forward, blocking their path. His movements were precise and quick, deflecting attacks with mechanical strength. The Queen watched, astonished. This human, this prototype, was more than she expected. One guard lunged at Lysera, and Jaren caught it mid-strike, spinning the alien aside. "Stay close," he said. As more guards appeared, he guided her through narrow alleys and collapsed bridges. Each step a test of skill and courage. The air was filled with smoke and the hum of alien energy weapons, suspense gripping every moment. Lysera began to understand something she had never felt. Humans were fragile, yes, but some could rise above, some could fight with intelligence, courage, and honor, and this human, Jaren, was one of them. She glanced at him, a small spark of hope lighting in her eyes. Maybe they could survive this, maybe he could save them both. The city ahead seemed even more dangerous, but Jaren did not hesitate. He had already decided. He would not fail, not this time, not after being mocked for so long, not when someone else's life depended on him. Every heartbeat, every movement, every decision mattered now, and the adventure had only just begun. Jaren and Queen Lysera moved cautiously through the ruined streets. The city was quiet now, but the air buzzed with danger. Shadows shifted in the smoke, and strange sounds echoed from broken buildings. Every corner could hide an enemy, and every step could be a trap. Suddenly, a group of rogue alien machines appeared. Their metal bodies gleamed in the dim light, weapons flashing, and energy beams cutting through the air. Jaren did not hesitate. He calculated angles, distances, and attack patterns, moving faster than any human could, deflecting energy blasts and knocking machines aside. Lysera watched in awe. Her people were brave, yes, but she had never seen such skill, such courage, and such strange strength from a human. "You fight like a storm," she whispered. Jaren only nodded, focused on clearing the path. He had no time for pride, only for survival. More enemies appeared, this time alien soldiers armed with strange weapons. Jaren ducked under their attacks, throwing debris and metal fragments with precision. Every move was a dance of intelligence and strength, showing that he was more than just a prototype. He was a fighter, a protector, and maybe something even greater. The Queen hesitated at a collapsing bridge. "I cannot cross," she said, fear in her voice. Jaren turned. "Take my hand," he said. "I will get you across safely." His metal hand extended, and she grasped it, trusting him fully. The bridge shook and cracked, but Jaren held steady, pulling her across, step by step. Behind them, enemies pressed closer, but Jaren had a plan. He led them into the ruins of an old building, collapsing part of it to block the attackers. Then he used the debris as a barrier, forcing the enemies to retreat. Every movement was calculated, smart, and daring, showing that he could survive what no other human could. Lysera saw something she did not expect. She saw hope. She saw a soldier who had been mocked, laughed at, and dismissed by his own people, standing tall in the face of death. She felt a spark of trust, maybe even admiration. She had no choice but to follow him, to fight alongside him. Jaren paused for a moment, scanning the horizon. He noticed the alien command center still active, sending more troops. If they did not stop it, the city would fall. He looked at Lysera. "We need to disable that center," he said. His eyes glowed softly as he activated his combat systems, ready to face the impossible. Lysera nodded, understanding the risk. "Then let us go," she said, her own courage rising, fueled by his determination. Together, they moved forward, dodging attacks, and navigating the ruined city with skill and speed. Every step carried tension, suspense, and the promise of danger. The city itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see if the prototype soldier could succeed. In that moment, Jaren was not mocked, not laughed at, not ignored. He was a hero, a protector, and the only chance for the alien queen and her people. The battle had only begun, but he was ready. Every instinct, every calculation, every beat of his mechanical heart prepared him for what came next. The alien city lay in ruins, smoke rising from broken towers and shattered streets. Jaren and Queen Lysera reached the command center, its control panels sparking and failing. The alien queen's ship was damaged, its engines dead, and without it, she could not escape. The enemy would return soon, and time was running out. Jaren stepped forward, studying the ship. His sensors scanned every wire, every circuit, every broken panel. He understood the alien technology, not perfectly, but enough to try. Lysera watched nervously, unsure if this human, this prototype, could really fix what no alien could. "I can repair it," Jaren said calmly, his voice steady. "But I will need help." Lysera hesitated, then nodded, moving closer, passing tools and energy conduits. Together, they worked, Lysera guiding him where her knowledge helped, Jaren using his strength, logic, and human ingenuity to fix what seemed impossible. As they worked, a warning flashed on Jaren's HUD. Enemy forces were approaching faster than expected. "We have less than 10 minutes, he said. "I can do this, but we must hurry." Lysera's eyes widened, but she trusted him, watching as the prototype moved with precision, his hands glowing with energy as he rewired and repaired the ship. At one moment, a large explosion shook the building, sending debris falling toward Lysera. Jaren reacted instantly, grabbing her and pulling her to safety. Sparks flew around them, and the enemy's shouts echoed through the city. Every second was critical, every choice could mean life or death. Finally, the ship's engines hummed to life, glowing brighter with energy. Lysera gasped, hope filling her chest. But then a new problem appeared. A group of enemy soldiers blocked the exit, their weapons ready to fire. Jaren faced a choice. He could launch the ship, leaving Lysera safe and abandoning himself, or he could stay and fight, risking everything. He looked at her, then at the city, then at his own mechanical hands. "I cannot leave you," he said, determination in his voice. Activating his combat mode, Jaren moved with incredible speed and power, pushing the enemies back, using clever tactics, traps, and his strength. He cleared the path for Lysera's ship, each move precise, calculated, and brave. Lysera climbed aboard, tears in her eyes, watching him fight. "You are not just a soldier," she whispered. "You are a hero." Jaren nodded, knowing he had made the right choice. He had finally proven himself, not to the humans who mocked him, but to himself. With a roar, the engines ignited, and the ship lifted from the ruined city, carrying Lysera to safety. Jaren watched from below, fighting the last of the enemies. His heart, if a prototype could feel such things, pounded with pride and hope. He had rewritten his destiny, showing that even those laughed at could become legends. As Lysera's ship disappeared into the sky, Jaren finally allowed himself a small smile. The battle was not over, but he had proven that courage, intelligence, and heart could change everything. Somewhere deep inside, he felt a warmth he had never known, a sense that he mattered, that he could make a difference, and that his story was only beginning. Jaren stood alone in the ruins of the alien city, smoke curling around broken towers and shattered streets. The enemies had retreated, but the battle was not over. His senses scanned for danger, every movement careful, every step alert. Yet something had changed inside him. He no longer felt fear, only focus. Above him, Lysera's ship glowed as it rose into the sky, its engines strong, fully repaired by Jaren's hands. She looked down at him, a mix of gratitude and respect in her eyes. "You did what no one thought possible," she said, her voice carrying across the distance. Jaren only nodded, still catching his breath, his circuits buzzing with energy and relief. The city trembled as the last of the rogue machines fell. Jaren had used his cleverness, strength, and courage to turn the battle, not just fighting, but thinking, planning, and protecting, showing the power of intelligence combined with bravery. Humans had doubted him, mocked him, and called him useless. But now, he had saved a queen and an entire city, proving their laughter was wrong. Lysera descended back to the ruins, her presence calm but commanding. She extended her hand, and Jaren accepted it, the gesture simple, but full of meaning, respect, and trust. "You are more than a soldier, Jaren, you are a hero," she said, her glowing eyes shining with admiration. For the first time, Jaren felt proud, not because others praised him, but because he had proven himself in a way no one could take away. News reached Earth quickly, transmitted across the stars. Humans who had once mocked him now watched in or as the first prototype soldier became a legend. Some were ashamed, some were amazed, but all realized that he had shown the true meaning of courage, ingenuity, and heroism. He had rewritten the story of what it meant to be human and what a prototype could achieve. Jaren looked at the sky, Lysera's ship disappearing among the stars. He felt a quiet satisfaction, not in fame or reward, but in knowing he had done the right thing. He had saved lives, faced impossible odds, and proved that even the mocked, the discarded, and the underestimated could rise to greatness. His journey was far from over, but for now, he had triumphed. The alien city, once filled with fear and destruction, now held hope, and Jaren, the prototype they had laughed at, became a symbol of courage for all. He had rewritten his destiny, not just for himself, but for everyone who had ever been doubted. The story of the first prototype soldier would be told for generations, a tale of bravery, intelligence, and heart. And as the stars twinkled above, Jaren walked forward, ready for the next challenge, ready to face whatever the universe would throw at him. Not as a mocked machine, not as a failed experiment, but as a hero, a protector, and a legend.